First of all, we studied all these different channels of communication, right? So you have in-person, you have telephone, you have email, you have texting, chat, Twitter, Facebook, et cetera, right? So you have this whole spectrum of communications. And the farther you go this way to being anonymous, people will say anything, right? Because they're not held accountable. You lose empathy. You lose the ability to convey sarcasm. So we become more and more tone deaf when that happens. And so it gets harder to communicate. And matter of fact, we're not communicating at this end. We're just posting, right? We're instigating. We're becoming mobs. We're not communicating. So if I see somebody that sends me an email and is upset about something, I typically don't answer it unless it's something just a very simple answer. I go talk to them.
Wait.
Yeah, it's true.
Wait. You're telling me that if you're upset by something someone said, you would go talk to them?
Or I'll send my assistant.
Okay, all right, I understand that.
But no, I don't know of any substitute for it. So far, everything I've read pretty much shows that as you go on the spectrum, it makes conflict resolution harder. It is not easier. We can't deal with it. The speed of communication is so fast. And the other thing that's happening is, as you do these different channels, think about it. What's your motivation, right? Because these channels are public, right? This conversation is public. But if I call you up on the phone or go over your house, it's private, right? We're gonna relate differently. We're not relating out here. We're advertising. We're advertising for ourselves. We did a study early on. We commissioned a research study on these forms of sharing. What was interesting is we found 8 different motivations, and the number one, when you ask people why they shared, it was for helpful reasons, altruistically. They said, I share an article with Brian Tome because I think he might find this information useful. And it turns out a couple years later, New York Times did the same study and came to the same conclusions. So most of the reasons were selfish, and then some are unselfish, and the others were selfish. Turns out Facebook did a similar study on Facebook. It was the opposite. It was selfish reasons. People self-promote. Look how good I look. Like I just want to show how smart I am, or I want to sell you something. Right? That's not effective.
No. Any final thought that you'd have us think about this in this current culture and being a jerk face or not being a jerk face?
Yeah, just think about when you post. What's your motivation? What are you trying to accomplish? And if you're really trying to communicate, go sit down and talk to somebody.
Wow. Let's thank Tim for coming up. That was good, buddy.